Hi guys, it's Debbie from What's Mama Cooking For Us, and today I'm going to share with you just how I continue with what I do to plan for the week. Not planning meals, but prepping things up to plan out when I go to make a meal or just to make my life easier. And I did one on the vegetables. If you guys want to go check that one out, I'll leave the link up here above. But this is just all my fruits and how I get them all prepared and stored, and then that way that can help you get a longer shelf life. I know a lot of people are scared of the berries and they say, oh, they go bad so fast and they get moldy and this. I'm going to show you how to clean them and store them, and hope you guys enjoy these videos, and I hope it's helping you guys out on how to save time, money, and some of your, what's the word I'm looking for, energy. Yeah, like so you're getting things done up in advance, so that way you're not saying, oh, I got to go out there and chop those and cut those, or oh, they got to be washed first. This way they're all ready for the week and you're all set to go. Okay, so before I get started, I got beets and sweet potatoes in the oven, but I always start out with a nice refreshing drink, something to look forward to after getting all this work done. And this is just a glass of water, and I keep in a baggie in the fridge my orange slices or lemons, limes, whatever you have, the little leftovers and everything. There's nothing wrong with this stem, as long as you're washing it really well. And I'm just going to put that right in there as well. And they last good in your fridge for a few days, and I also keep some in my freezer, and then just give that a good mix, and in a little bit we'll have some nice orange flavored water when I'm all done. Okay, so I start out with some paper towels, and I use this drying mat that you buy in the store for your your dishes. And over here I have a nice clean work area. I got a sink full of water in this bowl. Oh, not a sink full, a water bowl full of water. And I'm going to do 3 parts water to 1 part vinegar. And this is just white distilled vinegar. It doesn't have to be exact, but I've been doing this for years. So look at all my apples. I got some pink ladies and some Honeycrisp. Get all those in there, and like tomatoes. And now you don't have to do this all up in the beginning of the week. I mean, there's no rule when you do this. You just want to get it done, and then that way, oops, she's making a big mess. I take all these tags off, after they soak for about 10 or 20 minutes. But yeah, so I was saying you don't have to get this all done at the beginning of the week if you don't have time, because this is a little tedious, some of the berries and stuff. They'll last in there a good couple of days until you can get to them. But always the raspberries and blackberries, you always want to tend to them first, because they do go bad faster. And make sure you don't have no bad spots in there, any mold. Always take care of them right away. Wash them really good. And I just rub them a little, and you can kind of feel the waxy stuff or whatever preservatives they put on these. If you're doing organic, you still have to wash your vegetables, because these are organic, but they still have chemicals. They're just not quite as bad as the chemicals on the traditional vegetables that we eat that are not organic. So just rub them down good, and get that off, and make sure you clean in here really good too. So I don't know about you guys, but I like to eat my whole apple, my whole tomato. We pay our money for it. Use the whole bit. Same with like the orange slices. And if you have anything left over that you're not using, or you don't want to buy a big thing of blueberries, but it was a better deal, put them in the freezer. They last great in the freezer. Okay, so let me let these set, and we'll be back for the next part. I didn't want to forget to tell you about the Dirty Dozen. It's an organization. It's called EWG, who keeps track of all the chemicals and pesticides and all the different stuffs, and they keep track of it, and they let us know about it. And they have a list that's called the Dirty Dozen. You're going to hear me talking about it in my videos if you're watching the other ones as well. And they have one that's called the Clean 15 and the Dirty Dozen. And last year, the year before, they even added kale to the dozen. So they stay on top of that, and they do let us know. And berries are definitely on there, and apples. So you want to really, really clean these good. Even if you can buy them organic, still clean them very well. So when you're washing up all your fruits, make sure you take all the little papers off, and be careful taking them off, because you don't want to, open up the fruit or vegetable, and then that exposes it, and then it's going to spoil faster. So try to be careful when taking those off. And I do this, I don't know if I said this, but with my lemons, my limes, and my oranges, which I have all them from last week, so I do not have to do that this week, but normally that's what I would do too. I would soak all them, and that way you can zest it, the citrus, and that way you don't have to worry about it. So then you just want to rinse them all in cool water. And I noticed this tomato has a little mark on it. Well, one of them does. So what you can do, where's that mark? Now I just seen it. Okay. Playing with me. Oh, here it is. And oh, there it is. That's the little one too, but here's the big one. And it feels soft, but I'm just going to cut that little spot out, give it another rinse, and then it'll be fine to use. Or it'll be fine to just set on your counter and, just use that one up first before the other ones. Okay, so now these have drained in the sink for a little bit. I let them drain for about 10 minutes so that they're not so wet when I transfer them over here to the paper towels. And always let these all dry completely before storing them. So what I do is I just set them out like this while I'm working on the blueberries and the strawberries. And this way they'll sit here and dry out. And also you can store tomatoes. They are stored on your counters, and unless you open it, slice it, then keep it in your fridge. Apples can be stored in the refrigerator or the counter. And I usually keep mine on the counter, but I do like to have cold apples, so sometimes I'll put one or two in there so I can go in and get a cold apple. Okay, and I was going to say, make sure you're checking over all your fruits and vegetables. Well, I think I did say that, but so like I noticed this one here, it's looking a little old, but it's still, good enough to eat. But I'm going to make sure that I eat that up first. I'll probably most likely eat it up after I finish up on this video here. So then just put your strawberries in there, and I'm gonna put the blackberries in there as well. 3 parts water, 1 part distilled vinegar, or any vinegar actually will work. So I do 3 cups water, 1 cup vinegar. And look at those guys, they look beautiful. So when you're cleaning them, make sure you clean them really well. Get under the stems there too. And you can, rub them with your finger a little bit. Not too rough, and just take good care of your fruits and vegetables, and they'll give you a longer shelf life, because it is, I said it in my other video, it's your money and your time, and all your time and effort. You don't want it to go to waste. And so yeah, I hope these tips help you guys out. So yeah, when they're in there soaking, just give them a little shake. Get them stirred up a little bit so that way any debris comes off. And you want to, just, keep it moving in there. Look at these blackberries. I love fruit. I call it God's candy. But I mean, I'm sure everyone does. But yeah, it's like, So after 10 or 20 minutes, I don't really, count the time, to the precise or anything. Just whatever I feel. Then I just take it over to the other side and give it a rinse. And just make sure they all look good and look healthy. And then we let them drain in the drainer, and then we'll put them over on the towels. Yeah, so let me just show you this water. Look at that. Horrible, horrible. So if you're not cleaning it, that's all going in your mouth and in your body and in your kid's mouth. So please, I want everyone to make sure you're cleaning your vegetables, cleaning your fruits. And I'm going to link the Dirty Dozen list below with the website. If you guys want to learn more about that, it'll be in the description box, and also I'll post a little pic so you can see what's on the list at the end of the video. And if I ever say anything incorrect that's going to be, gonna hurt a recipe or hurt somehow I'm telling you something, it'll always be in the description box below. That was like it's too much to say in one word. But yeah, I mean, if it's just something simple, like one day, you know, I said lettuce for cabbage, you know, all those crazy things that you guys know I'm good for. Yeah, so you know, I'm not gonna bother correcting that. But you know, if I was to tell you that, you know, you have to use 1 cup, and I meant to say a half a cup, I'll always always try to put that in the bottom in the description box. So then I just let them drain in the strainer for a little bit, and then you just want to take them and put them out on paper towels, and you can use regular dish towels too as well if you want to save more on the environment, and I do that sometimes too. Today I didn't, but and now you want to make sure the berries are really good and dry. Oh, and then change your water, pure, you know, like I do maybe 2 fruits, and then I change that water, because you definitely don't want to keep using the same dirty water. Like that water that I just got done doing for the apples, the tomatoes, and these berries, definitely I'm changing it before I start those blueberries, because that water was gross. Oof. I don't even know if I ever seen it quite that bad. So yeah, make sure these all lay out flat. I'll fix that off camera, and get those all dried. Okay, let's get these blueberries in. And I also wanted to say, you know, I watch a lot of food stuff. That's what I do. Because I'm so interested in food, and I just love, I don't know, I just fascinated. But I was watching farmers one day, and they were bagging up vegetables right out on the field. And I seen them doing celery, and then I seen them doing lettuce. And I'm like, wow, I thought those all go on this big conveyor belt, and they go all the way up, and then they go down, and they're getting hosed down and washed and all this stuff. No, they're just bagging it right out in the middle of the field. And I was like, holy cow. That means they got nothing, no, not even a rinse from the dirt. So yeah, let alone, you know, all the chemicals and pesticides and, you know, just it's crazy. So yeah, so that's why I'm so, I just learned that like maybe a year or 2 ago, but I've been doing this for years. But that's why I'm such a stickler on stuff like this, because after I seen that in the field, I was like, that can't be possible. But I can see the labels on them, the same labels that I see on my foods. Yeah, and I was like, holy cow. But anyway, I don't know why I'm going on about that, but yeah, so just make sure you let these soak, and then we're going to do the same thing. And then I'm going to show you how I store them. Okay, so same goes for the blueberries. Shake them around, so that way a lot of the debris falls off, and little tiny stems that might be on there. And it's okay to, you know, give them a little touch and rub them up a little bit. And yeah, because you want to get them really good and clean. And that way you're checking them, you can feel around for any bad ones, or ones that might have like a little slit in it that you don't want to get spoiled. Then just pull that out and either eat it or, you know, get rid of it. So yeah, these fruits and vegetables, it can be very expensive. You're going to hear me saying that a million times. But that's why I like to take my time and make sure that I'm doing a good job cleaning and using them up as much as possible. See the little stems? So yeah, that way you're checking them, and then if you are giving them to your kids, your grandkids, you know, they're all good and healthy, and there's no stems on there or anything like that. And then I'm going to freeze some of these blueberries, because I did buy this bigger container because it's a better value. And I do use them for my smoothies, or I just pull them out and eat them. They're just, I mean, they only take a minute to thaw. I put them on a flat pan to let them thaw individually first, and then that way when you put them in the freezer bag, they're all individually and not in big clumps. Yeah, so when it comes to the blueberries, I just take this strainer, grab some out, and then just give them a rinse. That way it's easier, and you can get down in there and making sure that you're rinsing everything good. And don't be worried or afraid that your food will taste like vinegar, because it doesn't. It doesn't change the flavor of anything. I've never noticed it ever. And I also wanted to tell you guys that I did all my vegetables up. I was saying in the beginning, go check that video out. But I also did my corn on the cob. I got a couple pieces of corn on the cob. There was something else, and I get them ready and prep too. Now, like I have the broccoli still in the fridge. I haven't done anything to my broccoli yet because I'm just gonna wash that when I go to prep it. But if you want, you can do that up in advance too. But you know, you guys can look all this stuff up on the internet: how to clean, how to purchase, how to, you know, choose the best, how to, you know, store the best. And there's a million methods out there. But I'm just gonna show you guys, you know, kind of, you know, what I do that I've learned to help me be more successful. So see, you seen earlier I found some stems, or I pulled the stems right off, or some might just be laying in there. And then these two were opened. I don't know if, you know, that came that way or I did it during, you know, shaking them, cleaning them. But either way, so get them out of there because then they'll start to erode and we don't want that to happen, and then it hurts the rest of the batch. So what I'm going to do now is let those sit in there and drain. I'm going to drain these some more because I'm going to take them in the little colander and get them done really, really good. Shake all that water off. You want all that water off there. And then these are over here draining on the drying thing, and then we're going to take care of them and then put the blueberries over there. And meanwhile, I'm going to have some of my orange flavored water. Look at that. You can put some, you know, stevia or some type of sweetener in there if you want. I mean, I don't. I feel like that defeats the purpose, but I know some people like to have a sugary drink. So, of course, go ahead and do that. And yeah, so I'll be back when we're on to the next step. Okay, so I take a paper towel and go over the tops of them and just kind of, you know, make sure I'm patting them really well. Just don't hurt them. And same with the blueberries over here. They're going to take longer to dry. But the other ones, they dry pretty fast. And in the meanwhile, I wanted to tell you guys, I'm also having some yogurt and fruit. And during this, it's not taking up my time. I'm doing other things. I did some hard-boiled eggs. I did those up for the week and peeled them as well. I told you earlier I had beets and sweet potatoes already in the oven. And those last good in my fridge for a week as well. And I eat them up during the week. I hit a little note to tell you guys what I wanted to tell you. Let's see. Oh, and then during the meantime, I go through my fridge and check through things, make sure everything's doing okay in there as well. Whether it be the other fruits from last week or the fresh vegetables that I just did this week. And while I was going through the blueberries, I did find another blueberry that wasn't in good shape. So that way you're touching them all these different times, you find the bad ones. And I used up that strawberry that I was telling you about that looked like it was a little, needed to be used up soon. So it was perfectly fine. So yeah, let these all get all dried and then we'll get them stored. Alright, so I've changed all the paper towels. And I just wanted to show you, so I changed it a couple times, especially with the berries, so that way you know that they're fully good and dry. And I wanted to show you, I kept everything over here in a big little pile. I used the little tins from the berries, and I'm making a little trash pile there. So I don't have to run to the trash pail every single time. It's under my sink, but still, you know what I'm saying. So I took these out, my frozen blueberries, my raspberries, my mango. And I keep my bananas whole like that. They freeze perfectly, but you can put them in containers if you want. Use the baggies or, you know, whatever Tupperware type containers you have to keep them in the freezer. And these jars are what I'm going to use for my blueberries, my blackberries, and my strawberries. So what I do is just make sure they're good and dry. And I have a paper towel in there so that they just don't, you know, get no moisture in there. And I just put them all in there and they last in my fridge. Let me bring it up here, excuse me. They last in my fridge, you know, 5-6 days. And I'm going to say 3 to 5 days on some things because the berries, they don't last quite as long. And then your strawberries could just do a flip on you. And next thing you know, they're not. But I'll store them, get a couple more in there when I go off camera. Try to get a couple more in there. And same with the blackberries. We do the same thing. Put a paper towel in there and just keep them right in there. I'm not going to go do all those. Now this one feels a little wet and smushy, so I'll probably just eat him. Well, actually, I'll probably put them over here in my drink. In my drink, I added some of the raspberries and a couple of blueberries just to give some more flavor to my drink. And I actually eat the orange and all the fruit, so that way you're getting in your fruit servings. And then the blueberries, I'm just still patting them. And let me get these things back in the freezer. You can take these all and put them on a sheet pan, freeze them individually on the pan, and then take them out after about an hour. Put them in the fridge for about an hour. Take them out and then put them in baggies, and then that way, see, they're all individual and they're not in big clumps, so you can just pull out one piece. So yeah, give that a try, guys. So I have these in the containers. These are ball canning jars, or you can just use any containers you have, or baggies, whatever you have. And the blueberries, they're a little tougher putting them in there because, you know, they fly all over the place. But I use this little funnel. You can buy one of these anywhere. It's usually in the canning department. And I've had it for so many years. It just lasts forever. So yeah, I'm just putting those in there. And then I'm going to take the rest, it's not much, and put those in the freezer. So those should last me all week. I don't think I'll have any problem with the blueberries or strawberries. Now the blackberries, they may not last, well, they definitely won't last the whole week. But you never know if they're going to last 3 days, 5 days, it depends. And while you have all this out, like I said, make up a good water. You can get a pitcher, fill that with some fruit, and make some fruit water. And then for mess, this is it. I just got to wash these 3, and I'm going to clean my sink out. And that way, I'm all set up for the week. And I hope this helps you guys out. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. I'm going to put a link here, too, to my Prep and Ain't Easy video. Because when I was just trying to put these blueberries in the jar, I kind of smushed a couple. They were rolling all over. So I said, yeah, prep it ain't easy. So, yeah, so I'll link that up there just for some other helpful tips for you guys. And also a playlist of Debbie tips that I have. And that's just how I store food, chop food, different things to preserve things. And yeah, so I got the apples all set, and I got my bananas in the fridge because the bananas didn't look too great, so I put them right in the fridge right away. I have these out on my counter: garlic, avocados, tomatoes, and of course my onions. And I don't have no potatoes this week because I decided not to buy any because the last ones were so bad. It kind of made me mad, so I got turned off by them a little bit. But but yeah, enjoy your flavored water, and make sure you eat all the fruit as well. Throw some limes in there, lemons, and it's such a healthy drink. And you don't have to drink soda or those drinks in the store. I usually do that with my tea as well. I'll take just my glass of tea, put ice in it, and put all those fruits in there. Just a couple fruits. You don't have to get fancy. And yeah, so I hope this helps you guys out. Put paper towel in there. That just helps with the moisture. And yeah, so stay tuned, guys. I don't know what I got coming up next, but you'll see. You'll see something. Oh, I was thinking about making some hummus and some soup. So we'll see if I get to the soup. I was gonna do that soup last week, but I think I might get to it this week. Anyways, be blessed. Subscribe if you're new, and to all my other subscribers, thanks for staying with me. Thanks for showing me love, and I'll see you guys all on the next one. Be blessed.